Hello, I'm Vanessa.
Hi, I'm Ray.
And we are Orderly. And today we're going to talk about 5 mistakes new homeowners tend to make. Might not be you. We hope not. But if you're a new homeowner, maybe you should pay attention to this.
Yes. How was it like for you when you moved in to your first home?
Wow. I mean, I did my best to design it the way I wanted it. But I think I wasn't fully prepared with regards to things like storage in some sense. Okay, first of all, again, I don't have much. So when I moved in and when I moved out, I still had empty space. in lots of cabinets.
Yeah, and also before when you moved into your first home,
Yeah,
you were not a professional organizer yet, right?
I was not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I didn't have much for some reason. I don't know. Yeah. I did have some sense of like what should work for storage and what shouldn't. So I did things like, instead of having an L-shaped cabinet for my wardrobe, I did like a corner open thing. So it was like
Something we're gonna talk about later.
yeah, correct. So I think especially for first time homeowners, sometimes we think about maybe how it looks more than like how it should work or like what should serve you and your family in that very moment. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So should we talk about the first point now?
Yes.
Okay, so the first mistake we feel that many homeowners make is to design their cabinetry with only aesthetics in mind, but not the function.
I think most people when they are getting a new home, they are very excited to own the ID, right? To beautify the house, build cupboards and things like that. But it depends on your ID really, like whether or not they care about storage.
Yeah.
I think most of the IDs that we've met, or most of the clients that we've met, they tell us that their IDs don't emphasize much on the storage design, meaning how does it look internally or the compartments, the dimensions of it, right? And I think this, if you're a new homeowner, please decide, uh, please pay attention to whether or not your ID like talks about all the storage design and all that, because if you don't ask them questions, sometimes they will just, oh, you never say means it's okay lor.
Yeah, or they'll just give you the default measurements of like depth, height, and then the number of shelves and all that. So I think IDs are just not really familiar with, for example, not all are. Some IDs I know they are very good with organizing, but um, I would say some of them focus more on like how it looks, and then they just give you the standard template for the insights.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean that's their job, right? To make it look nice. Also, that's their KPI. So I don't blame them. It's just that it's not something that they think about unless you go and probe them for it.
Correct. We I remember the other time I had a client who had a really detailed ID to the point where the ID helped her to plan out where each of the kitchen appliances would go.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if this was mainly driven by the client or the ID, but it sounded like the ID did pay attention to all the details. I think maybe because the client herself, she's quite organized to begin with. And yes, she did engage us to move in and unpack for her. But I could see that with such an ID, right, the client was, the whole house really turned out to be really nice. Everything, there was adequate storage. Storage design was really quite optimal, was quite appropriate. But most of the time, the rest of our clients will just be met with a very templated design, whereby, because I think when there's like a new BTO launch, then the IDs might be working on multiple projects with the same HDB layout. So the amount of space that they can use to build cabinetry like the wardrobe or the kitchen cupboards are pretty standard already. The main thing that really might make or break is how the interior looks. So even small details like whether or not you choose AA tracks, number of shelves versus number of drawers, number of hanging space, all these matter so much. And we really do want to highlight that you should pay attention to this if your ID didn't ask too much. Subsequently, we also have our space service.
Yeah.
So our space service stands for storage planning and cabinetry evaluation. So what this does, how our service works is that after you get your first draft from your ID, you can send it over to us and consult with us. During the consultation, we will find out your lifestyle needs, whether or not you intend to have kids, what are some of your hobbies. And with that in mind, we will help to review the ID's drawings to see whether or not those storage uh, built-ins are appropriate for what you have to store. So these, you think of us as like an extra consultant that can come in to help review your entire storage for your home.
Because I think sometimes people also forget things like the drop zone in their planning when they're building a new house. Right? Like when you come into the house, where you're gonna drop all your things like your bags, your like keys, especially for those with kids. So recently, one of our colleagues, she's planning a new renovation. So she very smartly, because now she works with us, right? She knows like, oh, I have to plan a drop zone. So I need to her like this drop zone for backpacks. So each kid has like one section, and then the adults have one section, and it's like concealed behind the cabinetry in the living room. But it's very smart to even think about this already, because otherwise, when you come home, all the bags are just on the floor, or like just lying around somewhere, and then you come home and you're like, oh, what's this, right?
Yeah, the drop zone is like the probably the top most forgotten area to think of, right? Because most of the time our bags, it's really on the tables, on the floor. And because that's something that's not very common in our culture. We don't have like a mud room. Some of us will have a foyer, but usually our foyer or entryway it's just used for like storing shoes, right? Yeah, not really ideal for storing bags. So when we help our clients to improve the space, we can only do whatever we can based on whatever interior, whatever has been built in already. So sometimes the way the things are organized may not look as nice, but this is really the best we can do.
Yeah, but also sadly for renters, unfortunately we can't do much. We just have to work with what we have.
Or we have to get very creative with the solutions lah, that we propose as if it's a rental space and use non-permanent solutions like tree and hooks or like things on wheels so that they can be moved around or they can even be more modular, I guess, so that they can be also moved to their next home, because a lot of our expat clients do face such situations. Also.
And since we were speaking about L-shaped cupboards just now, so some of the options you can have, tip for you, is to have again corner opening. That means you have it a slanted door, or you have a door that hinges in the middle so that you can fully open up and access the entire L shape. Or what some people do is to literally cut it off and then have one deep side. But we suggest not to for things like clothes, like in the wardrobe, or like toys in the or like study. Kitchen sometimes okay, because you might have like big boxes or big appliances that you might need to tuck away that you don't use very often. I think still possible. But wherever possible, we really try and avoid L-shaped cabinets.
Yeah, I think kitchen is usually the room, the space in the home that tends to have the most L-shaped cupboards. If there is no way to, like it's too late, for example, to build like two opening doors so that you can access the entire corner. Another way is to find a suitable hardware fixture that you can install so that you can like pull and then slide out. Although our experience with that and what our clients' feedback is that it sometimes with excessive use, it does get wear and tear. The mechanism gets a bit wonky over time. So we should have to just make sure that we don't store anything that's too heavy over there. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to mistake number 2, which is only thinking about now and not future proofing. What do we mean by that? So sometimes when you just get married, you have a BTO and it's just two of you, happy, it's just us.
You break down one room for walk-in wardrobe.
And then you have the other room for study. And then 2 years later, okay. Then when does the baby go? Right?
On the island in the walk-in wardrobe.
Or like, oh, I have to clear my study, right? And then I have nowhere to work. I have to work outside in the living room.
Yeah, correct. So we do realize that a lot of times, I know, right? Sometimes baby can be unexpected.
Yeah.
Which is unexpected. It wasn't planned, of course. Congratulations. Now let's see what we can help. How we can help you. But if you have very clear intention and you plan to be a parent, eventually, I think it's very important to keep certain areas of the home flexible or also opt for certain designs such that it can be, flexible down the road.
Yeah. And sometimes also like unexpected things happen, right? Like your parents need to move in with you for some reason, or like a relative, sibling. Sometimes even like you decide to get pet.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, now impulse decision, and now I don't have enough space for like the pet stuff or the pet itself, right? So I think always good to think about what might happen in the future. You don't have to like fully plan it out, but just keep that into consideration and think about whether some things can be more temporary. So things like cabinetry, like you don't have to get like built-ins, or you can get like temporary ones.
Yeah. So like I want to share what I did with my home. I live in a 4-room HDB, right? So one is the master bedroom. The other one, before we got kids, we didn't build anything at all. So it was blank slate, nothing, no wardrobe. And we only built the wardrobe when we knew I was expecting with my daughter. Then the third room, it was a Japalang room that evolved from a home office to my florist studio when I did flowers. Then that evolved into the nanny's room or my mom's room when my mom stayed to help take care of my daughter. And then over time, also what happened? I think we moved the baby there once. And then baby went back. Oh, because I had my son, and then we wanted to separate the kids for a while. So like it evolved so many times, and only into like the 6th year of having the home, then we did the built-ins for the study room. So I think it is not as troublesome as you think. It does get a little bit dusty when you are already living in and then you do the renovation.
Yeah.
But it is okay. I would say absolutely no regrets for not doing that earlier, because it was only in the recent 1 to 2 years that we realized, okay, we're done with 2 kids. We now have a clear idea of how we want to use this space, because husband changed jobs, I started orderly with Vanessa, and I sometimes work from home. So I really do need a more conducive office space. Previously, we had those makeshift tables with wheels that you can rise and, yeah, but then also like all mismatched size. My husband one size, I wanted everything was so not mismatched. And with all these loose furniture, I think the downside is that yes, it's modular. It served us during a period of time when our needs were not fixed yet. But I'm glad that we still went through that process, because now with our built-in in our study room, we really love it, and it's really designed to fit our needs right now and in the short term future.
Yeah, I think that's also a lesson in like living the now. Yeah, and keeping what you only need at that moment.
Absolutely.
Before you pack, another mistake that people make is to not declutter. Yeah, so same thing. My clients have said, yeah, after now when we are here in the new house, we realize actually we didn't need like so many of these stuff. Some of the stuff were not supposed to be brought over, meaning they should have stayed in the old house, for example, like aircon remote. It has happened, yeah.
10 year times.
Yeah, or things like I was supposed to store this away. I don't know why they bought it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think busy people, right? It's hard to make sure that you spend time decluttering before you move. But it is very important. Yeah, because then you save money also, right? You don't use so many boxes when you move. Yeah.
That's the key thing, really saving money. And I also recently had one client who engaged us to move on behalf of her parents. And also because her parents her mom actually, haven't really decluttered for quite some time. So we did spend 4 half-day sessions decluttering and packing her things into boxes. So it does sound like a lot of time and of course cost involved. But I think the doctor was very pleased and whereby because we really did cut down the volume by so much, if we were to move everything over, because now we have really architected the new house, right, there would have been no way whereby everything would fit.
Yeah. Plus then you waste time packing things that you don't need and unpacking things that you do. Yeah. So decluttering really saves you time and money.
Yes.
Yeah. One problem. What do you think it is?
Just pack everything into the box and move.
Yeah, especially when you get the movers to pack for you, right? So I've heard horror stories of like people putting, like not people, but literally the movers putting cleaning products and like soy sauce in the same box.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh my.
And then recently I had a client, because he already packed some things into duffel bags, so he thought that they could just take duffel bags and go. They literally put the duffel bags into boxes so that they could charge for the boxes and move them like that. Yeah. And then I also had things like towels in like 4 boxes, sheets together with like toys. You know, really very random. Yeah. But similarly, another client, she decided that, you know what, I don't do that stress. I'm gonna hire Audrey to pack for us.
Yeah.
But honestly, it made the unpacking so much quicker.
Mm.
We spent a long time packing though. We definitely packed much slower compared to the packers, like the professional movers. But because we do it with so much intention, it helps the unpacking process uh, just move so much quicker because we know what's in each box and everything's categorized together.
Yes. And when we pack, we don't just mindlessly pack or sweep everything in. We make sure the little loose things are also say contained in ziplocs or like at least grouped together so that when we unpack it's easier. And the key thing is we pack according to the rooms in the new home.
Correct.
We don't pack according to your existing home that you're moving out of. We will make sure that we find out from the client, okay, in a new house, how many rooms are there? Are the functions still the same as current? Most of the time there's like some slight changes, right? Most people upsize, so there's additional room, so things can split up a little bit more. Yeah. So that would really make the less, make the unpacking a lot faster. We waste less time.
Yeah, my client was like, why are you wrapping everything up? Don't need to break. And then like, no, we have to break. I don't want to break anything. It's a risk, right? Yeah. Okay, the last mistake.
Last mistake
Is to, it's not just for homeowners. It's for generally
anyone.
anyone who suddenly watches Home Edit and like, I'm so excited, I want to organize my house, and they rush out to buy products. And then they bring the products home, then they 1 cm too big. Doesn't fit. Then how?
Yeah lor. So even when we help our clients unpack at their new home, we do it very systematically. We would remove everything from the moving boxes first, find a home for the things. So this is what I call zoning, like space planning, making sure that okay, t-shirts go here, pants go here, underwear go here, things like that. And then once we are sure that everything fits well inside, then we take measurements and we source for the most appropriate products.
Yes.
So this is the best approach to take when you are settling or moving things from one space to another. Really don't rush into purchasing like even like Muji drawers or like IKEA things, you know. It's okay because nowadays delivery so fast. Yeah, it's okay to not have them appropriately optimized yet. But rather if you do that you save a lot of time and effort down the road because sometimes if your products don't fit then you waste money and you can't refund.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, what was I about to say? I suddenly forgot.
Yeah.
What about rushing to buy products.
Rushing
Yeah.
to buy
So
products.
for a few days, or maybe even like a week or two, your things might just be like on the shelves, untethered, and just living their wild and free lives. But don't worry, they will eventually always have a boundary and always have a home.
Yeah.
So just have to tahan a little bit.
Yeah. They will live life with no boundaries for long.
Yeah. But do you have any like major regrets for your first home?
To be honest, I think I was quite blessed to have my ID because when I renovated my current home, which is my first home, I was also not very into storage and things like that yet. So most of the designs that he gave me were probably his tableted versions, but it somehow worked pretty well for us. And I think we were also very mindful and intentional from the beginning, whereby we said we knew certain pieces of furniture we wanted to keep them modular. Certain areas of the home we didn't want to build in first, because back then also we just started our new job, so we also wanted to keep costs as low as we can lah. Yeah, and yeah, really absolutely no regrets there because what we wanted we just added on later.
Wow, so rare leh.
Yeah, this I was quite happy with my ID and I highly recommend my ID if you want. Let me know and code rate for sorry no this
But you see, on my end, I never work with an ID. It's always
really?
been, yeah,
Contractor?
So I will
Oh.
tell the contractor what I want. Even for our new house also, like we didn't have an ID. But okay, very blessed because we had all the cabinetry done already, and I was like, let's not waste it because I don't want to pull down something that's new. It just feels very wasteful, and it worked. It wasn't like terrible or anything. Yeah. So again, I went by like what I felt was sufficient.
Yeah.
I think the only trouble was that my kitchen lower cabinets were very deep, and I didn't do hardware. Yes, I didn't. It's just a very big and deep shelf. I mean, it worked, but it could have been better. Yeah, and then drawers wise also. I think I had one super deep drawer that I was like, what am I going to do? The height is like too tall.
Right.
So I think I would have maximized the drawers a bit more. Maybe 4 drawers instead of like 2 smaller ones and 1 big one. Yeah.
Okay.
So like height is something that's always very wasted.
Yeah. And okay, now that you talk about kitchen and the drawers now, I think the only regret I have is that L-shaped cover in the kitchen.
Now I got regret.
Yeah, now got regret. Because it's dead already ma.
Yeah,
I can't, I mean, it's not say can't lah, very troublesome to, open up the L. So I just made do lor. Because I just put like things that I'm not going to use there, like extra house and things like that. Yeah, but overall, not as bad as like other clients whereby they will tell us, oh, I regret not doing this, things like that. Yeah. Because I think as organizers, we found different ways to now
circumvent or like manage issues.
Yes, correct. So yes, I think that should be all.
But if you have if you have any questions or like concerns about your upcoming reno or moving, please feel free to drop us questions and we will answer them in our EMA.
Yes.
Yeah, or like if you have any regrets you want to share, feel free also. We'll also talk about them.
Yes, we'll add the link in the description below, or just send us a DM on Instagram anytime. We're very friendly. Are happy to answer them anytime. So yes, that should be all for today. Thank you. Bye.